You may find it curious that at just 26, I, Edward Rutledge, was the youngest man to sign the Declaration of Independence. I had a gift for words. Debate came easily. But when the question of independence came before us, I hesitated. Too soon, too reckless, I said. But by July 2nd, I was fully committed to the cause. I helped turn South Carolina's vote because I saw the truth. We would rise together or not at all. Unity wasn't just principle, it was survival. I didn't just talk. I fought, rising to the rank of captain. During the siege of Charleston in 1780, I was captured by the enemy. They threw me into a dismal prison in Florida. When I was released in 1781, I returned home and served my beloved South Carolina as a legislator and finally governor until the end of my life. It doesn't take age to recognize the weight of history, only courage and the will to speak and sacrifice when it matters most.
This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world.
Cameras on, we're going live tonight. American pride and patriot fight. The white rabbit has taken flight. Knock, knock, sleepy Neo, this is for real. We're swallowing red pills left and right. Come and overdose with us Tuesday night. They say we're crazy, say we've gone too far, but we're just truth seekers under the dome. Don't be mad at us, Google Chrome. They laugh, they mock, they think we're insane. Please just use your effing brain. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines. machines.
What's up, everybody? We got Jimmy Bell and Bo Booth in the house.
Booth.
It's nice. It's good. I like it.
I'm so happy you're here, Bo, because I had a migraine all day today, so I am in the dark. So I'm gonna keep my candle for
that
tonight. And
sucks.
thank God you are here because you guys can do all the talking. And if anybody else wants to join, please join right now. Join the stage. I'm gonna put the link in the chat again because even though my head hurts, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna say some stuff tonight. Okay, but at least you guys can do most of the talking. How are you guys?
Good.
I'm good. I'm excited for tonight's show. I tell you what, though, I may be a little biased, but that intro that we have now is freaking fire. I love it.
Are we gonna say that every Tuesday night? Like, I feel like
Yes,
every
we
Tuesday
are.
night, I feel like I love
Yes.
it too. And when we're backstage, I be singing the hell out of that song because I sing it with my own melody. Like I told you, I want to do a karaoke cover because I sing it my own way, but with the same beat.
Yeah,
I love that song so much.
I like the hammering guy. The guy who's hammering the computer console. I don't know why. For some reason, it just really draws my attention, that scene.
Yeah, it's pretty good. John did a really damn good job on that. So proud of
the
him.
Christ is King part, though, that's absolutely golden. When he said that, I was like, ooh. I know Ruby doesn't have balls technically, but yes, he does. That's exactly what I was thinking when he put that. I was like, yeah, girl, you tell him.
Oh my God. And I love the way that it whispers it because that's exactly how I feel. It's like we are so conditioned to whisper things that are controversial or like, ooh, we're not supposed to say this. So I loved how even in the song, it captured my deepest feeling about that, because we're going to talk about that in just a minute.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. We actually haven't been too conspiratorial here lately,
No, not at all.
We haven't really. Now, I could go down that path a little bit with Greenland tonight, but I'm going to stick to what I do know and not go off into the conspiratorial side where it talks about alien spaceships in Antarctica. We're not going to go there.
Oh, wait. I have heard this.
Yeah, I've heard some
The
stuff.
hole is what you're talking about?
Maybe towards the end, we can talk a little bit about that, but I don't want to muddy the waters with the factual information I have about Greenland. So maybe we can leave that for later. But one thing I would like from the oh my goodness, my buddy Thomas is on. Guys, this is Thomas. He works with me. He's my new agent with Aflac.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is this the agent or somebody else?
No, this is my new associate on my team. Thomas.
Oh, okay. Hi, Thomas. Welcome to the UPC.
Hey, what's up? Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Cool. No, yeah. Well, when you started talking about Greenland, I've been doing a lot of research. Well, there's this guy on Twitter, Ethical Skeptic, that's got a theory that's very relevant to the whole Greenland discussion. So, and it's not even just a theory anymore. It's like he's proven as a fact. So,
awesome.
He's basically, I'll just say it real quick. He's basically proven that 6,000 years ago, the Earth had a different North Pole than it currently has. And so that's where Greenland comes in, because if we had a different North Pole 6,000 years ago, then there's a possibility it might shift. We might have a different one again in the future. So Greenland would be extremely valuable in that case. So.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, and well, he's proved it mathematically. Like it's not even like 6,000 years ago, the Earth definitely had a different North Pole, which is, it sounds crazy. It sounds like I'm crazy, but I would have called that a crazy theory if anyone else if proposed it. But this guy has done the best scientific research on COVID and how the jabs can cause certain problems.
Yeah. We know all too well about that. I got a strike already because we spoke about that. So we know.
Word
still
that
striking
carefully.
people for that?
Yeah, because I said something to the effect of anti-vax rhetoric. So I got a strike for that, but that's okay. We don't care about that here. Just really quick question, Thomas. Did Jimmy warn you about this show? Or like what?
Really?
He mentioned that he did a political show, and I listened to one about a month ago, and so
Okay. Just wanted to know.
I know about it.
Okay, very good. Thank you, and thank you for joining.
Yeah, my politics is very aligned with Robert Kennedy Jr. And like I was actually the coordinator for his when he was an independent, running as an independent.
Wow. Wow, look at you. Oh my God, I need to step up my game. Thank you so much. That's inspirational because I get blackpilled a lot and I feel like giving up a lot. So I like to hear that. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you being here, Thomas. And I think what we're going to do tonight, I talked with Ruby before the show started. She's got about a few minutes of something she wants to say about last week's episode and what was said on one of her comments. She's going to talk about that. Then she's going to go into the whole Don Lemon thing. Then we're probably going to switch it over to Bo, and Bo can discuss the points that he wanted to discuss. And then after he's done with all that, then we're going to get into the Greenland stuff and see where we go from there. I mean, I do have the news blast for this week, so that might be something we do it towards the end. We do want to try to finish up at about 11 because, I got to get up and work. I got to make sure Thomas is out working tomorrow, too. So anyway.
Oh, my God. That's great. Okay, so you know what? Really quickly, hello to everybody in the chat. Join the stage now if you want to get a word in. If you want to share your thoughts, whatever it is, join now. Okay, so really quickly, on our last episode, we talked about the shooting in Minneapolis with Renee Good, who was obstructing justice. And I will speak for myself. I did say a lot of insensitive but truthful things. I'm never going to apologize for the things that I say when it comes to my opinions on politics or when something bad happens. So this comment really quickly from Bonnie on our last video. She says, the fact that you two think it's a laughing matter, the killing of Renee Good, shows to me what kind of people you are, and it's not good. And then the next comment says, I could only stand to watch this video for 34 minutes and had to shut it off and give you both a thumbs down. You went from one cult, I am also an AKW, to another one, and neither of you have a working conscience. To say I can't stand
Sorry.
Yeah, I was waiting for you, Jimmy, because when I read that, that's exactly how I reacted as well. And you know, that phrase, leaving one cult for another, is not new to me. And it used to hurt my feelings, but not anymore, because I will never, ever align my thoughts or opinions or anything like that with a party, with a person, with another person. Everything that I have ever said and done on this show comes from me, myself, and I take full responsibility for my opinions, and I will never apologize for them. Exactly.
Hey, Ruby, real quick. There was a little bit of muffling noise, and some of the folks in the chat couldn't hear what you said on that comment. So let's do this. There was 2 sentences in that comment, right?
Yes. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah. I can hear you. It's just when you were reading, it wasn't coming through. Okay. So let's take the first sentence and let's respond to it. And I hope this person is, what's her name?
Bonnie.
Bonnie. Okay. Well, Bonnie, if you're watching, this will be our response to you for these comments. So go ahead and read it again, Ruby.
Okay, there's 2 comments. So I put it on the screen just in case if you can see it. But the second comment was the longer one. She says that she had to shut it off and give a thumbs down. You went from one cult to another one, and neither of you have a working conscience.
Wow. Okay. So apparently this person has never. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say, Bo. She's apparently never watched our show before. Is that what you said, Bo?
Well, okay. So I apologize. I just started talking, but what I notice when people have off the wall comments it's a red herring, right? They're trying to use against you here.
Yeah.
And it's a fake analogy on top of that. So if you look at this account, I would bet money that if you click on it, you're going to see something like that's a new account that showed up 4 years ago, and it has no videos, nothing behind it. And so there might be, this is one thing I noticed. A lot of bots use numbers after their names too.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed this on my old channel that was shut down. And so I kind of think that this might be AI. Just because the way it looks, the way it sounds, it's kind of like repetitive. Like, and when you start hearing the same thing, like it's the same attack over and over again, my opinion is I would respond to it, ask a question about the subject, and and then another question that is not related to the subject matter whatsoever. Like, what's your favorite Federation starship? Mine's the Marauder, or something like that. And then you can see how it responds, because sometimes like simple AI won't know how to respond to something that's out of the designed like core of like the programming. And that's one thing that I noticed, and I had to tell people. So I'm just throwing that out there. I don't even know if that's a real person.
That's true. Ruby, can you actually click on it? Click on the profile and see?
Okay. And we did have a Bonnie here a long time ago. So if it is a real person, then I do think I remember this Bonnie.
Yeah, see if you can click. Okay, so what does it say? Joined how many years ago?
8 years ago.
8
That's
years
pretty
ago.
old.
Yeah, that's a pretty old account. Okay. All right.
Usually anything in the 4 and 5 is really, really suspicious. Anything under 4 and 5 is like, if I look at comments and they're really, really new, I assume they're a bot, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'll respond to that whole, you left one cult to go to another. Do you know I've been hearing that crap for 6 years now, ever since March 2020? Every left-wing liberal XJW that doesn't like what we talk about, that is exactly what they say every damn time.
Yeah. It's a woke bot.
Yeah. And so what I got to say to that is cults are supposed to be small, right? A small group of people. Well, depending on his watchtower, then you got like 8 or 9 million people in a cult. But to call what we do and who we stand for, over 77 million people are in a cult. Come on, go look up the definition. Go look what it means. Nobody's telling me what to say. Nobody's telling me how to believe or how I need to act. Think about that. You guys were the ones that were telling people, oh, you need to go get your shot. Oh, you need to cover your face. Oh, you need to sit in your home. You tell me who's in an effing cult when you do that. I'm sorry.
But
it pisses me off when they use that excuse, because it's a lame argument.
Right. But like Bo mentioned earlier, if you haven't seen us before, I mean, if you have, you would know that I don't even subscribe to that anymore. I don't do parties no more. I don't do, blue and red. Yeah. We talk about this all the time. So when I say things, please trust that it is coming from me, even as wild as it may be, or crazy or insensitive. I mean, I did say that last week. I said this may come across this way. I always say this every Tuesday, but it is my opinion. And I will not apologize for not feeling a certain type of way that the news wants me to feel about Renee Good, and actually saying that out loud. So I will never apologize for that.
One other comment I want to make on that too is for those that want to use that argument or excuse or whatever the hell you want to call it, remember, weren't you guys the ones that were supporting the people that were telling Americans that they need to snitch on their family members if they have more than 5 to 8 people at their house for the holidays? Weren't you the ones that were supporting the media when they were saying, oh, well, you need to not talk to them, you need to shun them? That what we showed that, and it's true. It's 100% true. The media told that you need to shun those who don't get the vaccine. Don't do that. So you're supporting them. Get out of here.
Yeah.
With that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. It's the. Yeah. This is why.
So I just wanted to.
Sorry, Ruby. That pisses me off.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up because I know that from the very beginning, we never started this show with a following or a fan or we don't go by that. We don't go by likes. We don't go by comments. We don't go by people's feelings. I don't care how you feel. You could give me a thumbs down all you want. I don't care. But when I come up here and I say stuff that is the truth and I say, yeah, I don't really care. I mean, she deserved everything she got. Then that's how it is. All right.
I
don't
say
care.
one more thing when you're done, Ruby?
Yeah, go ahead.
When they're calling you, you left one cult for another cult. So obviously there's a logical fallacy. And the number one thing I want to point out is what's the number one thing a cult does? It doesn't allow opinions. You have a show about opinions. So them telling you you're a cultist is the exact opposite of what you're doing. They're literally saying that you're in a cult for allowing different opinions, which is the exact opposite of what a cult. A cult controls the narrative and controls the opinion. You have an audience that you allow to come onto your show freely to give different opinions. It is like either that person, and this is going to be offensive, is slow and doesn't understand what they're saying, or they're intentionally trying to mislead the audience by giving them false definitions, and we all know who does that.
Yep.
Yeah. Just want to welcome Joseph, Tio Pepe. Welcome to the show. Any thoughts before we move forward?
Joseph, the floor is yours.
Oh, okay. Good evening, everybody. And are you going to start about the Greenland or
not yet? Not yet.
Okay. What about Don Lemon?
That was what Ruby wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Yep. We're gonna dive into that one. How do you feel?
That Don Lemon and that group that he was with, they crossed the line because, according to the Constitution and religious freedom, you cannot invade or protest inside a place of worship. Regardless of what it is, you're not supposed to be able to do that. And I believe they crossed the line when they did that. And that's why the DOJ is coming down on them. But then there's another aspect to this, is that the Attorney General of Minnesota should have jumped on it right away and prosecuted them against that. And the leader of that pack was a lawyer. She should have known better than to do that. So I think
do know better.
The DOJ and their division under civil rights has a good case.
Before we touch more on this Don Lemon thing, I want to make a statement that I heard on one of the shows I keep up with. Was all these things that we're seeing with the shooting of Renee Good, and there's like mad feedback coming from somebody. The shooting, the protest, all this stuff. This is all just a distraction from what they don't want you to be seeing right now. They do not want the American public seeing all the fraud that's in Minnesota, which that's just the tip of the iceberg, because it's going to come out about California. It's going to come out about Illinois, Ohio, and several other places. And it's not just going to be money with the daycares and the SNAP program. You're going to see more fraud be exposed. So all this stuff you're seeing is just the deep state creating chaos to keep the normies entertained and not paying attention to what's really going on. That's what it is. Now, because they're being stupid, like we've said before, why interfere with the enemy when they're in the process of destroying themselves? And this is exactly what Don Lemon has done. So I just wanted to say that before we go any further, Ruby.
It's the KKK Act is what he violated. That was one of the main ones.
Yeah.
And then there's the second one that he did. I wrote them down and then I apparently didn't save it.
I got it.
I forgot what it was. Do you know what it's called?
Yeah, it's the FACE Act of 1994.
Yes. Yeah. Now, I was going to say this, and I thought this was really weird. So the FACE Act is to protect churches, okay? That was like what it's supposed to be. Religious or a religious, how do they word it? It's something like a religious facility.
Yeah,
they put Planned Parenthood in there.
Yes, I have it right here. Yeah, me and Ruby were talking about this. So
yeah, I thought that was really weird. I was like, because it's supposed to be for a place of worship. That's what it is. So places that do abortions are considered a place of worship.
Yeah, I got it right here. Let me read it to you guys. It's the FACE Act, stands for Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. The FACE Act of 1994 is a U.S. law protecting access to reproductive health clinics and places of worship by prohibiting force, threats, and physical obstruction created due to clinic violence. It allows criminal prosecution and civil lawsuits against offenders and prohibits damaging such facilities, though its enforcement and application to peaceful protest remain debated. So just like Bo said, this was created to protect abortion clinics, but we know how they play. They also put churches in there. It said places of worship. Now think about this. Why would they do that? Because you have folks out there who are Christians who don't believe in abortion, but what they're going to see with this act, so instead of them saying, oh, you just created an act to protect abortion clinics, they threw this in places of worship.
Right.
They threw it in to keep them quiet. So they'd be like, oh, well, you're protesting abortion clinics, but, we put the church thing in there. So, you want us to protect you guys too? So it's double speak. This is what they did. So what happened was there are individuals who are still in jail now because they violated the FACE Act because they went and torched or destroyed or whatever these abortion clinics. So Don Lemon goes into a place of worship and it says protecting places of worship by prohibiting force, threats, and physical obstruction. Isn't that what he did? So He needs to be held in violation of the FACE Act.
Yeah, what he did was ridiculous. And the fact that he's so stupid, right? I mean, what do you expect? I mean, he's just the mouthpiece for the left, but he recorded himself before he went in there announcing what he was going to do. And then he went on TV, went on multiple shows saying that he didn't do that. I'm like, what is wrong with this dude? Like, he thinks he's untouchable is what I think it is. But I don't think I know that they get away with a lot, but I think that this is the thing that crossed the line. And the fact the president is saying that they're going to get involved, I think it's going to be one of the few times that I can see a leftist get in trouble.
Oh yeah, he's completely messed up. There's something else I'm going to say on that too. Oh crap!
I have this clip to play if you're ready, or when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead and play the clip.
I'm ready.
Yeah, play the clip.
will pursue charges in this case. I see various crimes that have occurred. Exactly what they are, I'm not going to flag, but the FACE Act has been mentioned as one of the predicates there. In other cases, the Biden DOJ used the Klan Act conspiracy charges tacked on to the FACE Act in the case of protests outside abortion clinics to bring much longer sentences. So there are a number of tools available to us. Who funded this? What else? What other crimes may have occurred? Was there a use of the wires or the mails in preparing for this event? Did anyone cross state lines to do this? All of those are potential predicates for additional federal
Antifa.
charges.
I mean, just because this is the first time that I've heard this mentioned. This is a act that was passed in 1871, correction there, to combat the Ku Klux Klan and protect African Americans' voting rights, especially the Enforcement Act, which is known as the Force Act. So here's some of the information on screen. Would you mind breaking down for us, because we have just read the FACE Act and how this is an affinity to the FACE Act, an obvious and egregious demonstrable violation of the FACE Act, because they were entering a place of worship, harassing and threatening. We just played a video of a bearded man, who was threatening to attack the Christians that were worshiping there. So it seems like an obvious FACE Act violation. But the Klan Act here, it is on screen. First time I've heard it mentioned. Can you unpack this for us, Harmeet?
Yeah, the Klan Act is one of the most important federal civil rights statutes, and it goes back to the time when President Lincoln emancipated the slaves, and yet the southern states, Dixiecrats mainly, were refusing to give them equal rights. And in fact, that you had sheriffs and you had law enforcement harassing the newly freed slaves. So the Klan Act is a law that makes it illegal to terrorize citizens, to violate their civil rights, to get together and conspire to violate the civil rights. It is often used against law enforcement, but is now used against others as well. So whenever anyone conspires to violate the protected civil rights of American citizens, the Klan Act can be used to bring a conspiracy charge. We, in the federal law enforcement parlance, call this 241 and 242. Civil. So what the Biden administration did is, if three grandmas got together to pray outside an abortion clinic for the souls of the people inside, and including the unborn children, they would say, oh, that's not just a violation of the Klan Act, that's a conspiracy to violate the civil rights of women going in there to get abortions. And so we're going to add additional charges and punish that more and make it from a misdemeanor under the FACE Act to a felony under the Klan Act. And President Trump pardoned the pro-life protesters in those cases. I have recently defended successfully in the 11th Circuit a case called Oropesa, a case of Jane's Revenge, the pro-abortion protesters violently attacking crisis pregnancy centers in Florida. And we had the court uphold the Klan Act criminal enhancement to the FACE Act. So I know this is very deep in the weeds, but the point is, there are a number of things. The FACE Act is just the start. Like I said, you have material support for disruptive activities. You have conspiracy to violate civil rights. You have potentially the use of other instrumentalities to commit crimes. And so some of these folks who did this have self-identified. Don Lemon himself has come out and said he knew exactly what was going to happen inside that facility. He went into the facility, and then he began, quote unquote, committing journalism. And as if that's sort of a shield from being an embedded part of a criminal conspiracy. It isn't. And so, we're getting our ducks in a row. We're putting the facts together. And this is a very serious matter. Come next Sunday, nobody should think in the United States that they're going to be able to get away with this. Everyone in the protest community needs to know that the fullest force of the federal government is going to come down and prevent this from happening and put people away for a long, long time.
As it should be.
That smells like Antifa. They're going to go after Antifa. They've been working this for a while, because Antifa is basically the modern Ku Klux Klan.
Yep.
They are organized.
Exactly.
They run military drills. They've been caught doing this. Every political environment that the Democrats are obsessed in or into, that violence is taking place, Antifa is there every single time. Like every single killer that has shot a church or been involved in any kind of murder recently have all been associated with Antifa. Like, there's no way this is a coincidence.
No, it's absolutely not a coincidence. And for the folks out there, and you're going to hear the spin on the news to where they're going to say, "Oh, well, they were just exercising their freedom of speech and freedom to assemble." That's what they're going to say. Well, let's educate those folks that are going to listen to that and parrot it, and let them know, hey, you have a freedom of speech to speak out against the government. You have a freedom to protest against the government. You do not have freedom of speech and freedom to protest. You cannot use that as an excuse to violate other citizens' civil rights. And that's what these people did. That's why they're in violation of the FACE Act and the Klan Act of 1871.
Yeah.
Right.
This is why I've always told people, and then it's around this subject, is you should not go do a certain Kingdom Hall crashing. I've told people shouldn't do that. That this is what's going to happen to you when you do that stuff.
You know what? Now that you say that, and we've looked at that actually makes sense now, because
I've warned people about this, and people got pissed at me for this. And I told them, don't do that. It's not legal. You're going to get arrested. And they're like, no, they can't. Freedom of speech. I said, no, you don't understand. You can't go into somebody's public or a building that's not really for the public. It belongs to them. It's like going into somebody's home and then telling them whatever you feel like you want to say. You don't have the right to do that.
You know what?
Correct.
If I would have known about those two acts back then when I was full on being an XJW activist, I would have mentioned that. that actually
would have been attacked relentlessly for it too.
Well, hey, I was attacked by the left in that group anyway, so that's nothing new to me.
Well, it's because they're the same. Yeah, it's so funny that they're exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's so many of them.
Did y'all see the clip of the protesters criticizing their liberal mayor for because he wouldn't say defund the police?
No,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, it's on Matt Taibbi's channel, I think, Racket News. But yeah, it's pretty wild too.
It is interesting. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Go ahead, Bo.
I was going to say, it's really interesting that these 80 hominid fallacies are being used constantly to the point where they've just become normal and we don't even pay attention to them, like calling us Nazis or whatever else they want to do anymore. They've taken like these words that used to offend people, like people call you a bigot or whatever. They have no meaning anymore because they've overworked them so much that the culture doesn't even care. It means nothing. Like calling someone like anti-Semitic has no value at all anymore.
No.
And I always wonder, like, okay, were they desperate to do this, or were they doing that to desensitize us for a reason?
Yeah, I think it's just chaos. Do we want to get Joseph's comment on this particular subject, what we're talking about? He did unmute his mic.
Go ahead, Joseph.
I'm assuming he wanted to say something. Okay, so we'll come back to Joseph. Thomas, did you have any comments on what we've been discussing so far?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna post that clip. I think it's about halfway through this. I got the link here, just of the protest. Like, the mayor, Jacob Frey, I think it is.
Yep.
When he said for ICE to get the fuck out or something like that. So he's a very liberal guy, and the protesters were saying, like, it's literally he's getting shouted down in public, like, if he doesn't say defund the police, then he needs to go and all that. Like it's pretty wild.
Yeah, they've gone way left with this stuff, and it's funny when they start eating their own, because that's what you see when they get desperate. That's what they're doing. And I want you guys to be aware of this too. there is stuff going around TikTok and X, and you've got these Antifa people. First, I'll say this. Antifa mapping started a long time ago. So ICE and the feds, they know who these people are. Okay, let's just say that. We were told that by Q many years ago. The Antifa mapping has already started. But what's going to happen is they're probably going to start dressing up in MAGA gear and to frame MAGA, because they're out on doing videos right now saying, hey, you need to go to this site and get the hat. We need to get the flags. We need to get all this stuff. We know that they changed their costumes like 8 times last year. They went from Palestinian to Syrian, then BLM, Ukraine. That's what they do. They change their costumes. But what they haven't had in their possession, at least since January 6th of 2021 or 20, was that 21? 2020. They don't have a lot of MAGA gear. So they're looking to get MAGA gear. And don't be surprised if you see that happen.
Oh, sorry, Bo. Go ahead.
No, I'll go with you, Ruby. I'm curious what you got to say about this, because I know you had something good for that.
Yes, of course. I'm always gonna bring kind of the you know what, season 3 for me is, my theme for season 3 is extremism. I'm done with being moderate. I'm done with being careful or cautious. I am an extremist, and I'm not afraid to say that. I mean, if somebody stormed into my church, and I mean, that's the whole point of being armed, you start shooting. You do not need to talk to these people. I mean, they've obviously demonstrated that they are unwilling to talk when they murdered Charlie Kirk. Okay, so we're not talking anymore. And that's, I mean, even though that sounds crazy, it's not really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, sure, yeah, it's crazy, but if this is what we have to do to get some attention to this, like in my head, the feds or even the regular police, they should have already been on this, but they're allowing it to happen so that people like us could get angry, could fire back, could break the law in return, because all they're doing is arresting patriots. They're not arresting Antifas. They arrest them, but then they let them go. They have these funds to let them go. And what did they do to every other patriot who has held their own, hold the line, or all those different phrases? They got locked up in seconds and they got charged. I mean, there's even still people from J6 that are in prison. Like that's still a conversation. Why? They should have been released a very long time ago. But then we see people like Don Lemon storming a church and he walks free. He should have been arrested as soon as that video was uploaded. Like as soon as they left that church, he should have been arrested.
Well, it's kind of like the situation with Bill and Hillary. A lot that people missed was Bill and Hillary were supposed to come and testify in front of Congress during all this happened. And they had a subpoena to show up, and they did not show up. So let's but
they're above the law, Jimmy.
I was going to say, let's look back in history and see what we saw. Steve Bannon, he did not do his subpoena, and he didn't go. Guess what they did? They arrested him and threw him in jail. Right. Peter Navarro, same thing, didn't go, and he got put in jail. So that needs to happen to Bill and Hillary as well. And I think you're going to see this stuff come. I mean, and if you don't see it, then you can absolutely see the corrupt system in place. Your regular normie should be able to see, oh, wow, they put Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro in jail, but they didn't do nothing to Bill and Hillary. They should be able to see the hypocrisy there. And
there could be a move being used for this.
What's that?
I said there could be a move that they're doing this intentionally. I think Trump is doing this intentionally.
Oh, yeah. See, that's...
Well, I'm going to intentionally start shooting first nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, we need to intentionally get...
No, she's joking, everyone.
He's joking,
Listen,
y'all. Yeah.
So
if
people like
somebody,
Ruby.
if somebody broke into your house, you're gonna talk to them?
Oh, that's a different story. You break into
Well,
my
that's
house.
it's the
No,
same
no,
logic.
no,
They
of course not.
stormed into your church. You feared for your life. I mean, that's the whole point why people, all of us, should be armed. The moment you leave and or come back, you should always be armed. And that's my goal. I want to learn how to shoot. I want to learn how to be a responsible gun owner. And I need to start carrying because there's crazy people out here who think that they are above the law. Yes, thank you.
I got mine.
Exactly. Well, that's too big. I mean, I need I would like a a little one in my purse or something because
I got one of those too.
good, but this is when it starts becoming dangerous, and everybody keeps talking about it until something bad happens, right? So I think it's like we need to be offensive. You know what I'm saying? We need to take the offense and stop sitting around like ducks. You know what I'm saying? They were all going to church just sitting there, not doing anything. I would have gotten up and I would have told the like I would have I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pray tonight because I would throw hands. You know what I'm saying? Like I am done talking.
Well, you got the other situation where you had one of the protesters out with a gun saying he was protecting his block. Okay. So somebody will say, oh, well, he's just exercising his Second Amendment. Okay. All right. That's fine. But what did you do to the McCloskeys when they were out defending their homes from rioters during the BLM riots?
Exactly.
Left, charged them, took them to court, did all this stuff, charged them. But they're just going to let this guy, sit on his block with his gun. Now, here's the other thing. Isn't this the same group of people that have been trying to strip away our gun rights? But yet now they're telling their people that, oh, we need to get our guns and show force now. So that means, think about this, folks. Think bigger picture here. If they would have successfully stripped the American citizens of our guns, who would have been the only ones having them?
Yep.
The left, the terrorists. They would have been the only ones having them. They're showing you what their plan is and what they want to do right in your face, and a lot of people are missing it. That's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
So that so right now the number of people they've deported right from there is 622,000. Okay, the ICE is officially taken away. Now a few days ago it was 66% or 63, but now the number has turned to 70. That 70% of those arrests were rapists, killers, or violent criminals. And I'm like, so that's 435,400 rapists and murderers were in our country because of Biden. Now, I personally think that what is going to happen here is this is all a show. We're showing everyone how crazy it is. And I think that the next election is going to be paper to limit the fraud. And that's where all this stuff about Venezuela is coming from. Everything is being interconnected because they want to show you that these protesters, I don't think they're real people in the communities. There's been many, many, many channels that document these people, and they have shown the same protesters all throughout the country over and over and over again. And they know for a fact that most of them are paid actors.
Yep.
And there's been a few that made mistakes and actually admitted on camera, didn't realize they're being filmed, that they admitted that they're being paid to do it.
Yep.
And that's why they came out of nowhere. And all of a sudden there's it looks like, oh, the community, da-da-da. Well, no one there is from the community. Everyone who gets arrested is outside and from another state, and no one knows why they were there. How many times can you see this over and over and over and over and over again before people start waking up? They're not real. They are Antifa and associated groups with Antifa They are all being paid to do this, and I think this is why things are happening the way they are, and this is why we've done things with Venezuela. This is why we're working on shutting down the drug trade and everything else. Is because they're starving their asses out with the money. This is why we're seeing them going after the daycares now. And now, what's the new thing after the daycares? Now, the new thing is retirement homes, where people go to die. Or not? They're not retirement homes. Oh, so what is it called?
Assisted living.
Assisted living. Yeah. Yeah. What is it, Maria? Yeah. Well, they're nursing homes, assisted living. They're finding the exact same thing taking place with liberals again.
Yep.
So they're going step by step, and they're removing their money system, and they're slowly cracking down. Now, people get mad because you want it to happen now. We want justice now, which I totally agree with Ruby 100%. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen.
Well, and the reason why it's not going to happen right now is you tell me if you arrest some of these people, especially the high name people, if you arrest them now, tell me what court you're going to bring them in front of that's going to be fair and follow the Constitution.
None.
And that's why you have to, and that's being shown to the American people. What folks don't realize is we are being taught history lessons. We're being taught the Constitution. We should be in class right now is where we're at, because you're learning about all these different things. Think about when you watch this show. How many of you knew about the Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871 before tonight? The FACE Act, the Insurrection Act, the Monroe Doctrine. We try to bring this.
I know them all.
Yeah, I know you do. But there's a lot of people out there that don't even know this stuff.
Can I make some comments?
Yeah, go ahead.
Definitely.
Okay, first of all, I don't know how far you guys got about the protesters, but I want to remind everybody in 2016, Obama deported 300 million immigrants, and he gave Tom Hogan an award.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as far as guns go, you need to take gun safety courses, and I'm sorry, you can't start shooting people inside a church. You have to know what you're doing. You really need to take a gun safety course. If you're going to be a gun owner, you need to practice safe gun laws.
Absolutely.
That's just me. I've taken several gun courses in my life because it's easy to say you're going to have a gun, but shooting a gun at another person is a whole different ball game.
Yep.
And as far as these protesters go, I think that the Dems are going to up the ante because so far they say that it looks like they might take over the House, and they're not done yet. And I agree 100% with what Bo said. These people are getting paid. They're professional protesters. They're all over the place. And another thing, they're training them now to learn how to assault people.
Yep.
And they're not showing the media about the poor guy that they took his eyeglasses off of him. And he chased him, and they pummeled him. And then they beat up another guy with a shovel, and they wouldn't let this elderly woman cross the crosswalk. They barricaded her and her husband, and she was in a walker. And they don't show this part of the protesters and how evil and vile they are. And our country's going down a really bad path, and I think as Americans and patriots, we all need to wake up. Because this isn't going to stop. They're going to up the ante because they want to get the House. Because they want to get rid of the Republicans. And I don't think we haven't seen anything yet. That's just my take.
Thank you, Gigi. I appreciate that. I don't think you're going to see. Well, hold on. Let me back up a second. This is exactly what we've been saying on this show was going to happen, because the deep state. They have lost the information war, and they have nothing else left but chaos. That's the only bullet they have left.
Yep.
Chaos and war. Well, I told you guys years ago, there's not going to be a civil war in this country like people are thinking. It's not going to happen. Trump's not going to let that happen. What you're going to see, in my opinion, I believe this is what's going to happen. The American people are going to be shown what an insurrection really looks like, because what happened on J6, that was not an insurrection, so to speak, like the media was trying to say it was. but you're getting ready to see what a real one what a real one looks like. And when that happens, then Trump's going to call in the military and they're going to clean it up. But it's got to get to a point to where everybody sees it. So right now it's going on in Minneapolis. Okay. Is that going to wake people up in California? Is that going to wake somebody up in Florida? Probably not. So that's why it's probably going to spread to some more cities, and it's going to be in your face when you're like, you know what, this crap needs to stop. The military needs to go in there, and Trump has every constitutional right to do it. We've already talked about it on the show before.
But we could do it ourselves, Jimmy. Okay, so you see the comment I made about when something like that happens in your church, you start shooting, is because we are supposed to be protecting ourselves. We don't need to wait for the government or the military or anybody else to protect ourselves.
I agree with it. If you feel like you're in danger, in fear for your life, you have every constitutional right to protect yourself, whether you're in a church, wherever you're at.
Exactly, and I think that's the responsibility of an American, is to understand that privilege and that responsibility, because when that does happen, you don't need to look up the laws in your state. We have a constitution, so it doesn't matter if your state is a no carry or concealed carry or whatever. It doesn't matter. The Constitution, that's all you need. And that's why I believe in those God-given rights, because even if I didn't have a constitution, I don't need a constitution to tell me that. That's a God-given right to protect ourselves. And when you start seeing a mob coming into your church, your house, your supermarket, a place of business, anything, you have that right to protect yourself. And that's, as a society, we shouldn't be sitting down doing nothing, being quiet. We need to start standing up and fighting back. That's why I agree and disagree about the Civil War.
I didn't mean that when I said that. What I mean is, when you're going to shoot somebody in a crowded church, you better make sure you know who you're shooting, and you don't shoot an innocent bystander, because some people are stupid when it comes to carrying a gun. Just because you want to protect yourself, you just better make sure you take a safety course, because you can't go around just shooting anybody randomly that you think they're going to shoot you, because you got a responsibility, not yourself, but to the rest of the people in that church. If you're a gun owner,
these protesters, they feel emboldened, because you look at where they're doing these protests at. They're doing it in cities that have strict gun laws. Let them try to go down and do that in Florida.
No,
you don't see these protests in Florida. You don't see them in states that have constitutional carry. They're doing it in states that have these strict gun laws. And I'm sorry, any law that violates the Constitution is repugnant and should be done away with. So all these gun laws that we have in all these states, they shouldn't even exist, because they're a violation of our First Amendment right, or Second Amendment right. It shall not be infringed. Meaning there should be no. Now, I agree, before somebody jumps in the comments on me on this. Yeah, to purchase one, I think you need to be 18. Okay, I get that. I can deal with that. But you got kids out there. You got kids out there in the country that they know how to shoot a gun at 8, 9 years old. But that's with parent supervision and everything, which I don't think that's actually a bad thing. Now, them owning one, yeah, maybe you need to be 18, but that's just my personal opinion.
I got a clip for you, Jimmy. Sorry, Bo. Sorry, go ahead, Bo, because I have a clip that I want to say about that comment.
I was going to say, when it comes to firearms, I think if a kid has a shotgun, hunting gun, like that's totally fine. I don't think they should be buying ARs and stuff like that until you're an adult, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to hunt with the AR. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get that. I have no. Yeah.
But I mean, in a parent, okay, stupid story, super fast. Like, I got attacked by a mountain lion when I was a kid, right? So when people get pissed at me when I go hiking and they always say stupid shit, those liberal cunts, they're always like, "Why do you have a gun?" No. I'm like, I always tell them in their face, I'm like, I got attacked by a mountain lion. And then they're like, "Oh, yeah," and I was 10 years old or 12, whatever it was.
Oh my
God.
God.
That's why I carry a gun, because I'm not stupid. And then it's funny, because as soon as I say that, they almost always flip and agree with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd throw that stupid story out there. Sorry.
Here
I
you
think
go,
people should carry
Jimmy.
guns.
This is for you. And this guy is running for Florida governor.
Okay.
If you are old enough to die for our country, you are old enough to buy an AR-15 223 with a bump stock the day you want it. No waiting periods, no red flag laws.
Makes perfect sense to me. I don't know what you guys think, but I mean that video completely seems like common sense to me. I'm just saying.
Of course, and he's running for governor. On another episode, I do want to dive into him. I think he's a really great guy. He says a lot of great things, and I agree with the red flag laws. But yeah, if you are old enough to die for this country, you should be able to buy any gun that you want, no matter what.
And I'm sorry, if you're old enough to die for the country, you should be old enough to buy beer too.
Yep.
Of course, and smoke and do drugs and listen, do whatever you want. If you are old enough and willing to sign up and die for this country, go right ahead. I got no problem.
Yep.
Well, in reason, because I am Christian, so I wouldn't support degeneracy, but you know what I mean. Okay, so we got the Don Lemon stuff. Okay. Last comment about the Don Lemon is sorry, I get excited sometimes.
No,
what?
not you.
The irony of a black gay man getting charged with the KKK act. I would have never thought I would have ever seen this in the news. It makes me laugh so much. And if you saw
that's a good one, really.
It's crazy. If you saw his interview, he actually said that, basically, he doesn't care because those people are white supremacists. He doesn't even know them, and he says they're white supremacists. And then he uses the victim card that, this is why, because I'm black and gay. Well, congratulations. He really gave us. Yeah, definitely, but he gave us the headline of the century with that one.
So that dumbass that did that. The video footage that he used saying that, calling us white supremacists, all that stupid shit. There was Asian family right in the front row.
Yup.
I mean, this is how stupid. It's almost like, I know they're stupid. That's obvious. But they have such little disregard for the public that they're gonna go and call you a white supremacist and show a different race. It'd be like me going, you know what? Ruby is the rudest black person I've ever met. And then showing a picture of Ruby. And then people going, well, she's not a black person. And I'm like, you're racist. How could you possibly say that? Gosh.
See, these are the parts of this movie that we're watching. That is the comedic part. Whoever's doing the script, they had to put in some funny crap too. And some irony into the script. So a black guy hopefully getting charged with the KKK act, that's irony. No two ways about it.
Or he's so stupid and so blind, and he's got his woke glasses on that are so bad that he doesn't know that Chinese, Japanese, Korean, North Korean aren't white. It is possible. Maybe he can't tell the difference. Maybe he's so blind that he can't.
No, he's paid to say what he's saying, and I actually think he also believes it. But side note, just see how much.
White guy, by the way.
Yeah, he is. He's with. I wouldn't call it a marriage, but
you know what I mean.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Legally or whatever.
Yes. And they complain so much with these white partners, and they hate white people so much, but they marry them all the time.
Yeah, every one of them's with a white person, it seems like.
That's true.
Yeah, and also, everybody in the chat too, notice how they disrespect Christianity. Notice how they do this in a Christian church. Do you think this would have happened in any other type of church? I mean, I don't know. You think they would have done that to Muslims or to any other a mosque or something, or any other religious?
They would have done it to a mosque. They would have been shot by the members, and then the media would have been talking about what heroes they were for defending their church. That would have been the narrative.
Yep.
Thank you. And you know, all I want is the same thing. Is when Christians do it, call us heroes as well. I mean, we are all defenders of whatever we want to defend. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about us or our life or faith or country. I mean, it's everything, you know? So please, they continue to disrespect Christians, and this is a Christian nation, but we're not going to get into that. But I just want to point that out, that they always disrespect Christians.
Ruby, let's address the chat, because we really haven't. So far, we've not talked about what the chat has said.
I know, and it's been on fire. Thank you so much, guys. I mean,
yeah. So I've been kind of keeping an eye on it. But is there anything in there that I did see? Somebody asked if there were any preppers in the.
What does that mean?
That you don't know what a prepper is?
A prepper is somebody who stores food, gets water, has batteries, has just tons of stuff in case crap.
Oh, yes. Okay. I thought that was like a code word for something else in the chat.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought you guys were saying that some kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah. Just for knowledge, yes, I am a prepper. I've got. Let's just say you could drop me in the woods and I'd be okay for 2 months.
I am not a prepper, so if you drop me in the woods, I'll be
Keith
dead.
Sutherland? I'm sorry. Did you hear about Keith Sutherland? He got arrested for attempted murder on his share ride driver. Did you hear this one?
Oh, really?
Oh,
Who's that?
Keith Sutherland. You don't know who he is?
No.
Oh, he's an actor. He was his father's Donald Sutherland.
He was the star of 24.
Yeah. Yes. Well, anyway, he was leaving a bar and he ordered a share ride, and he wanted the driver to drive him to different places, and the driver said, "No, I'm taking you straight home." Well, he jumped, and the front seat started strangling the poor guy. So he was able to dial 911, and the person, I forgot what you call him, that picks up the phone for the police station. Well, they heard him saying, "I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you," and the poor guy screaming. So
I didn't hear that.
Attempted murder.
There was another Hollywood person that had some trouble this week too. I think it's Timothy Busfield.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, Timothy Busfield. If y'all don't know, look him up. He was in the show 30 something back in the 90s.
He was. Mm-hmm.
Married to Melissa Gilbert, or AKA Laura Ingalls Wilder, from Little House on the Prairie. And this gentleman he's a pedo. He's a pedo.
Uh-oh.
So you might
know in Hollywood. Wow, that's shocking.
Yeah, I know, right? Shocker.
You know who's protecting him? Warner Brothers. They knew about it, and his own therapist knew. And his therapist is feeling guilty because he didn't turn him in.
I hope he goes to jail.
I hope his wife yesterday said she's not going to divorce him, and she stands by her husband. So go figure.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
Well, she's probably one too, though. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, I know, like, most of the time we want to say it's males, but my experience from talking to victims for who knows how long now is that there are almost as many females involved in it as males.
That's correct.
And that's the part that the media doesn't really talk about. This is the part you don't see until you actually talk to people. Usually the females are the handlers.
Yep.
That's correct.
Well, I just learned that Ghislaine Maxwell's father owned the history book publishers, Maxwell Macmillan, that published all the middle school history books in American public schools. He owned that company.
Wow. Yep. That's unbelievable. Okay, did you hear this one about the new Barbies though? They have an autistic Barbie, a blind Barbie.
Yep.
Is this a joke or is this serious?
Huh?
Serious.
Are these real Barbie, the company Barbie?
It. Yeah, they have a Barbie with one leg, and they have a blind
disabled Barbies,
and a Barbie in a wheelchair.
Hey, we had Barbies
Barbie with
one leg.
blue hair.
Huh? What?
Hold on. We had Barbies with one legs and no heads and no arms back in the 80s.
Because you took them off.
Because we just kept taking them off.
That's true.
Oh my God, I gotta mute myself.
You gotta Google the Barbies and see for yourself.
Yeah, they've just gone way too far. Okay, so hold on. So how's a blind kid going to know? How's a blind little girl going to know that her Barbie doll's blind?
I don't know. The kids are rejecting all these, by the
pretend?
way. They want
I
the
tell you
normal
what.
Barbies.
I tell you what. Gen Z. I think there's hope. I think there's hope for Gen Z because the Gen Z is like my granddaughter's age, and there's a lot of stuff that's happening in this world my granddaughter thinks is just stupid. Like this whole thing right here with the Barbies, she would think that's stupid, and she's 13 years old.
Is that the autistic one you're showing?
Because it is. Yeah,
How do you
this is
know
the
she's
Barbie
autistic?
that supposedly. Well, because she has the thing over her ears, so that's like a sensory thing.
Hold on.
And then she has a.
Hold on. Born a JW in the comments said all Barbies are blind. You're right.
You gotta pretend. I mean, that's the whole thing about.
Well, the kids don't want
What
these
was that?
Barbies. They want the normal Barbies.
I saw a video.
That Barbie on welfare.
Huh?
I saw a TikTok video. I saw a TikTok video where there was this black mother who told her kids that it was time to clean out their closet or get rid of some of their toys. And she said, whatever you don't want, go ahead and throw it out in the hallway and I'll throw it away. Well, she went down the hallway. This is hilarious. The boy, he had just random stuff. The little black girl had all the black dolls that she had them all out there. That's just I don't know what this little black girl threw all her black baby dolls away.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find it weird that happened that way. I don't know what the story is behind that, but that's they just need to leave our kids alone.
Yeah, I agree.
Just let kids play with whatever color Barbie they want.
Exactly.
Like what do we need to have, like, I mean, if they want to have these weird Barbies, I mean, that's fine, but like who's gonna buy that?
Liberals.
There's a pic of a vaccine.
Do liberals actually buy things though? I mean, let's be honest. Like they said that about Star Wars. They said that about Star Trek. When they went liberal with Star Wars, do you know what happened to the Star Wars toys for the first time in history?
What?
They went to the 50% off sales shops because nobody was buying them.
Yeah. I know that for a fact.
Like Rey is the least wanted character in Star Wars. It has no value.
That's true, but they cater to the minority, so I don't think it really matters because they're gonna buy it regardless.
No, they don't though. That's what I'm trying to say is they know for a fact they don't do it. The only reason that Hollywood does this, and I know this for a fact, is that they found out in the last 2 to 3 years that what was happening with producers and the people that are hiring people doing this, they were being paid under the table. And that's why people in Disney were doing this stuff. And this is why the shareholders tried to take Disney away.
Yep.
Right.
And so because they were making no money off this stuff and the shareholders were getting pissed. But they found out they were getting paid, I mean, not little money. So so we see a movie and it flops, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, this is going to change Disney. And then they do it again and again and again. It's because the people making the movies, the directors and the people hiring were making so much money underneath the table. And then we only seen it start to stop. Guess when? Anyone take a guess?
COVID.
Doge.
Oh, there's that. Yeah. Doge.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where they found it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh,
throwing
wow.
that useless fact because I am a dork, so you all know. Star Wars, Star Trek, I'm your guy.
What about G.I. Joe? Imagine having a blown up G.I. Joe out in the market.
Okay,
I'm gonna change your name to
We didn't have Barbie dolls on the agenda tonight, so I just love the way the conversation flows, and we end up talking about Barbie dolls and whatever.
I know, but I mean those things are just stupid, in my opinion. You know, like it's just.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it is.
Barbie
It
dolls.
is.
I didn't know about this. This is you guys opened my eyes to a whole new product.
Well, I have something else to tell you. I got all kinds of information.
Go ahead, Gigi.
Do you guys know the lead singer from Smashing Pumpkins?
Nope.
I know the band.
I know the band. I don't remember his name.
I'm surprised you don't know him, Jimmy Bell. Smashing Pumpkins. Well, he's got a 1 million+ audience. Well, the CIA has targeted him, and he was being interviewed, but he could not speak about what they've been doing to him. They got a hold of Moby, who's another. Do you know who Moby is?
I know Moby.
Okay. Well, he caved in with the CIA, and Rob Reiner also was on their list. Why they're targeting them? Because of their audience, and they want the names of the people that are following them for their political propaganda. And he wouldn't elaborate, but he was nervous when he was talking about it. And I don't know why they want his viewers, but he said that they really want to know who his viewers are. I don't know what their agenda is.
How would they not be able to just look on Facebook account and get that? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Is that Billy Corgan?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's what Julian said in the chat.
Yeah, Billy Corgan. Yeah.
You can Google it.
I didn't even see that. Okay. Do what, Gigi?
It just happened the other day.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Moby was a supporter of Robert Kennedy Jr. when he was running as an independent.
Really?
Interesting.
Nice.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
What is crawling in the background? Oh, sorry.
That's Bo's dog, I think.
Okay, I saw something.
Oh yeah, you guys just saw Buddy. Sorry.
All right, I saw something
I
crawling
have
in the
a
back.
fake background. If you guys didn't know.
Okay. All right.
So, Jimmy, did you want to move on to your subject? Do you want your clip?
Yeah, I did. Not the clip, because we're not doing that yet. Let's see. Do we have anything else from the chat? Because we're getting ready to get into Greenland.
Oh,
okay. Before you get into that, did you know about the sonic weapons they used in Venezuela?
Allegedly, yes.
Do you want to talk about it? If you know, go ahead. Just you smile. You got that devilish smirk. Go ahead.
Let's just say that operation. I'm sorry, that was a badass operation. Our military kicked some butt with that operation, and
it's frightening. That is frightening that you can't even hear them.
Yeah, that's well. Hey, Trump said, "Don't mess with us."
He certainly did.
He tried to warn them.
The capability of that weapon is very frightening because it's airborne, and it's very frightening what they can do to you without you even knowing it.
Yeah.
Jane Spitfire said Greenland might be called Orangeland. Okay, so before I go into Greenland,
okay, go ahead.
Before I go there, let me preface that with this: none of this surprises me. With Greenland, with Australia, Canada, possibly Mexico, because I mentioned back in 2021 that this would possibly be something that happens to where these areas will all fall under United States control.
Wow.
Even Canada?
Even Canada.
Didn't they just cave today, Canada?
I think they did cave. Because what you're seeing a dismantling of the New World Order. That's what you're seeing. And Trump is tearing it all to pieces. And when he goes to Davos, I think it's tomorrow or Thursday. I can't remember when he's going, but he's going to light them on fire. We might need to do a special episode for that and critique that.
What do they do there again? I forgot.
It's the minerals.
That's well, she's talking about Davos. That's the World
I don't even know what that is.
That's where the World Economic Forum gets together.
Yeah, Davos. That was my thing. Yeah, I have an image I sent to Ruby. If you guys want to look at that.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
You emailed it to me?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ruby. I emailed a bunch of images for talking points. There's one on there. And you'll see it says World Economic Forum at Davos 2026. That when I was talking, I don't remember how many weeks ago we were talking about the Russia thing, me and Jimmy, and I was saying I don't think Russia is our ally and stuff, and we were going back and forth about that. I changed my opinion after I saw this. I think Jimmy's right.
Okay.
And once you see this, you guys might start understanding why I'm changing my opinion about this. So the World Economic Forum, we all know what that is, right?
Right.
The real name of the World Economic Forum is Davos. Do you guys know the history of Davos? I'm assuming everyone here does.
Pretty much so.
Okay, so we know
I don't, but go ahead.
super fast. Davos is basically started with the European Union and their leaders, and it's basically controlled by corporations.
Yep.
Okay.
So the corporations are telling countries what to do. It is the New World Order. Period. Okay. So the New World Order, the actual real New Order, the actual leaders, the New World Order are the European elites. Okay. This is why Donald Trump is doing everything he can to get us out of NATO, and this is why he's squeezing Davos. Davos has been threatening the United States. Trump said, nope, I don't think so. Went in there, says, I don't care what you guys do. You can't do anything. You don't really have a military. The UN doesn't have an actual military, and they can't really do anything. And Trump just basically gave them the middle finger and said, what are you going to do? We control your economics. We are now he's holding them by their throats. And when I saw this, and Jimmy started to tell me this, and so that's one of the reasons why I went and looked into this, and then this came out, and I said, Jimmy's right. So Ukraine is been historically where a lot of dirty money goes to. And this is world known throughout the whole world. This is why they weren't allowed in the UN, everything else. So our elites are funneling money in Ukraine. This is why the peace deal failed, is because the European Union leaders told Zelensky to attack the Russians during that peace treaty. And then that's why Trump got so pissed and was cussing and stuff, which he doesn't normally cuss on national TV, you know, but he was so pissed. So what he's doing right now with Greenland, and then how he shut down the Economic World Forum, it basically made them not really powerful anymore by putting all these tariffs on those countries. He stripped them of their power without even shooting a shot. And as soon as I saw this, this is what I'm talking about. I said, Jimmy's right, because this has been coordinated with the Russians, because they went after the bank, right? And now what's going on is the actual powerhouse, the actual authority, the companies themselves just got slapped in the face and their power got ripped from them. And the World Economic Forum is basically, people are saying, we don't care about Davos anymore. They're basically have no power, and they just stripped the New World Order of their leadership power. And this is what Jimmy was telling me, and I didn't. And this is why I'm saying, guys, I told you guys I didn't think this was true. I was wrong. This shows you right now that what Jimmy was speculating is happening and did happen, and I was completely wrong.
And that makes sense with the price of silver going crazy, like it's doubled in the past 6 months. And that's, if the corporations are losing power, then the elites are moving their money out of them.
Yeah. Would you guys mind if if Ruby shows you the map that says Gundam 00 on it? It shows the world map, and it's got different colors.
Yeah, show it.
So I want to show you guys something. So I watch anime, and I don't know if you guys know really what Japanese anime is, and I know I've talked to you guys on your show a few times about this. This is the map from 2007 called Gundam 00, where they talk about how solar power takes over, oil's no longer being used, and this is the breakup that the New World Order actually wanted. Japanese people, the Japanese animation companies, were telling you what the New World Order was doing all the way back, even before 2007, like in the 1970s and stuff. But recently, 2007, this is the map. Now you look at this. This is what the New World Order wanted. They wanted to break everything into these branches. Trump went in there and is taking Greenland. And if you look at the name, the United, what is it? The Union of Solar Energy and Free Nations.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the middle one is the Advance of the European Union, EU. Yep. And so, okay, if you think about this, now as stupid as it sounds, this is really realistic, because if you look at the European Union, what are they absolutely obsessed with and telling it everyone is so great? They're so wondering Africa's the best thing on the planet. White people are evil, blah, blah, blah. They want to break us all into these divisions. This is
Mhm.
the New World Order's plan. And Trump knows it, and he went in there and he said, "Nope, I'm taking Greenland away from you." And I
well, sorry, does Africa have a label in that?
Huh?
Does Africa have a label in that, or is it just grayed out?
So it's part of the basically the European Union. It's 3 parts.
So what do the colors represent? Could you give us a breakdown?
So the blue part is the Federation, which is the free nations, and then the EU part, that other color is actually supposed to be part of them too, but it's showing you that they kind of break away and stuff. And then the red part is China and then Russia, and then they become something called the Human Reform League. Now, you guys don't watch anime, and I'm not going to go too far into it, but they talk about all the subject matters that you guys talked about, the history, about how they're going to use the public, and then they're going to have fake killings and murders take place, and the companies behind it are doing it. What do you call that? I forgot what's the term. False flags.
Yeah.
That show goes detail about how companies do that, how they pay people, how they do all that kind of stuff that we guys are always talking about. And this is the reason why the woke culture went after Japan this last year and the last couple of years, because they're trying to get control, because they do not like the fact that Japan talks about this stuff, says this stuff, and warns people all the time in anime about New World Order. If you guys ever watched anime or knew about anime, this is a common theme all the time. They're doing this, and this is why the woke culture went for the gaming industry and they went for the anime, is because they don't want you guys seeing this shit, because they're telling you events like, it's creepy. This show's from 2007. They are doing events that are happening right now. We're in that damn show.
And this is why a lot of your corporations were taking business away from Japan and sending it over to China and Korea, because they weren't playing ball with the messaging.
Yep.
Well, I think it's really fascinating. Well, I was saying at the beginning that this guy on Twitter, Ethical Skeptics, proved that there used to be a different North Pole in the Earth, and where the North Pole was right in southern Africa. So it might be just a coincidence, but if that's the future map of the world, then it would make sense that the North Pole would be grayed out, because no one's going to be able to live there. So.
Ethical skeptic.
His real name's Roger Cunningham, but he went by he was anonymous online for a long time, and someone kind of doxed him, but he started doing interviews recently anyway. But he's a brilliant scientist. Yep, that's him. Yeah, he's a brilliant scientist. He does the best data charts of anyone I've ever, like data graphics. I mean,
wow.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I started following him. Just wanted to. And what was the show called, Bo?
So that series I just talked about, it's called Gundam 00.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in the chat if anybody is interested in that.
Yeah, anime is very interesting. I want to address a comment from a roundabout Aussie. Asked me a question, said, Jimmy, what's your take on the hate speech law in Australia? I have to say that I am not sure about that. I don't know what happened down there. So please let me look into it, and then I will give my take on that next week. Is that fair? Because I don't know what was done. So, but all right. So before we get into talking about Greenland a little bit, in the chat for you guys, what are your thoughts on Greenland? What is your take? What are you hearing? I just kind of wanted to get a temperature in the room on where people stand. If you remember, I did this last week with the Minneapolis shooting. I asked everybody what their take was on it, and then we talked about it. So take a second or two and please give us your thoughts in the chat. In the meantime, Dallas hasn't said any word. Dallas, do you have any thought on Greenland?
Agree or disagree?
Well, I'm not for certain yet, but still on the fence on it and not certain yet.
Okay, that's fair.
Let me ask this too in the chat. how long without looking it up, how long how long do you think this has been an issue? Is it something that's been going on for a long time, or is
since
it just
the 1800s?
Yeah, Gigi, you're not supposed to give the answer away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or are you only aware of it because the media is talking about it because it's Trump now?
No, I'm a historian, and I know that Woodrow Wilson had an Air Force base in Greenland, and it was a nuclear one, and people were getting sick. So they did not remove their equipment, and it's still it's like a graveyard of nuclear equipment in Greenland.
Yeah, it goes back even further than that too. So
some people in the comments for you, Jimmy. Jane says USA is taking Greenland border, ski resort as business, minerals and fish, and polar bear meat. So, like for their resources, I guess.
Okay.
John Marciano says Greenland. It's confusing. Is there an alternative and ulterior motive to grab Greenland?
Okay.
Tom says Greenland already has large underground facilities, so that might be a factor.
Wow.
Isn't that Tom on the screen?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Debbie is asking us if we talked about data centers and how bad they are for the environment. We haven't done a deep dive on that, but maybe next Tuesday we can, because James Fishback, who's running for governor, talked about that. So that might be an issue that we can dive into.
And that's a theory on Greenland too, that Greenland's already cold, and so like a problem with data centers is it costs a lot of money to cool the computer processors. And
okay.
Yeah,
so
that's a perfect place to put the data centers at.
Okay.
Couldn't they just put them in Alaska though? I mean, we already own
Yeah,
Alaska.
you could put them in Alaska.
Good point.
Well, it's further away from the from everything. Like Greenland's right in the middle of Europe and America. So
yeah, it would be. It'd be closer to DC and the East Coast and all that.
So is Greenland closer to us than Alaska is to the United States?
Oh yeah,
I do. Yeah.
It's like if you're flying to Europe, you're basically passing right over Greenland.
Somebody. I'll do a quick search. Hold on. Let's get some.
Okay, that's a good point.
Which?
Julian says that.
So I should have said this.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead and say again, Ruby, and then I'll go.
I was just pointing out what Julian said. It made me laugh. He said that the melting glacier ice is exposing a giant UFO spacecraft.
No.
Good one.
There's that theory out there. I mean, there's a video on that. Which is let's go.
That thing I was just telling you guys about the anime, the Gundam 00 thing. Something I should have mentioned that's just relevant to what you guys are talking about Greenland is the terrorism and all the stuff that takes place in the anime. It's actually run by a massive computer, and the whole thing is talking about how a computer system was actually causing all these conflicts all around the world, and it was talking about how dangerous AI is, and then the AI turns out to be alien technology, and then they're using solar power to have indefinite energy sources, so there's no longer necessary for fossil fuels. I decided it's kind of interesting because the last 5 years everything is about solar, and then everything is going into AI, and they talk about how you have like those massive power plants or wherever they're running the AI systems, and how you can hide them and all that kind of stuff. I just think it's kind of interesting that this is taking place right here and now, and here we're talking about possibly buying Greenland in order to make obviously data centers.
Yeah.
Well, the AI is the AI needs mega electricity, water, and minerals, and Russia, China, and the U.S. are all campaigning against each other for the AI market. Trump mentions it several times. He wants to be the first in technology with AI, and he's put a lot of money into it right now. But this all has to do with this is my take with the AI stuff technology that's going on. That's just me.
Is there a reason that they're not just building nuclear plants to run them?
I don't know.
It'd be good.
I
to
think isn't
look
Trump
up.
doing nuclear?
I'm not sure on that. I had to do a deep dive on that. Let me say this real quick. Let me just straighten something out that I said before. We talked about which is closer to the mainland of the United States, Alaska or Greenland. So technically, Alaska is closer to the mainland because of Washington and Oregon. Greenland's a little bit further away because of the ocean that separates it from the Canadian island. So,
well, but yeah, Greenland's like direct. If you wanted to fly from America to Russia, Greenland would be the most accessible path to do that.
yeah. So yeah, let's get into that. Let's go ahead and just because what time is it now? It is what 10:38.
10:32.
Okay. So I got 5 things here that I want to share, and I'm gonna try to use the screen again. So hopefully I can do the share screen thing and it works all right. But first, I want to read this email or thing I sent to my email. The United States has a long and complex history with Greenland, spanning strategic, military, and diplomatic dimensions. The U.S. first showed serious interest in Greenland during the mid-19th century. In 1867, Secretary of State William Seward, who orchestrated the Alaska Purchase, proposed buying Greenland from Denmark, but nothing came of it. So this was back in 1867. World War II, a turning point. Greenland became strategically crucial during World War II, when Germany occupied Denmark in 1940. The U.S. and Denmark, via its ambassador in Washington, signed an agreement in 1941 allowing the U.S. to establish military bases in Greenland to protect it from Nazi occupation and to defend North America's shipping lanes. The U.S. built several bases and weather stations, which proved vital for Atlantic operations. I have a video I'm going to share with you guys about that here in a second. After World War II, Greenland's Arctic location made it invaluable for U.S. defense strategy in 1946. President Truman actually offered to buy Greenland from Denmark for $100 million in gold. Denmark declined. You're not going to hear that. It's only because Trump wants to get it. All right. In 1951, the U.S. and Denmark signed a defense treaty giving the U.S. rights to maintain bases in Greenland. The most significant was Thule Air Base, now Flutflik Space Base, I don't know how to pronounce that, established in 1951, which became a key warning station for detecting Soviet missiles during the Cold War. It remains a crucial U.S. military installation today. Recent developments. In 2019, President Trump expressed interest in purchasing Greenland, which Denmark's prime minister called absurd. While Greenland is part of the Kingdom of Denmark, it has significant autonomy and has its own government that opposes such a sale. The U.S. maintains important security and scientific cooperation with Greenland, particularly concerning Arctic defense, climate research, and increasingly competition with China and Russia for Arctic influence. All right, so let me go to my screen. Let me share a clip with you guys. Share screen. And is this the one I want? Please tell me this is the one I want. No. This one. Damn it, no. Hang on. Let me go over to X. Let me find it on X. I apologize. Is that it? No. Let me get to my page. This is my page, right? No, it's not my page. Where's my page? I apologize. Hang on. I had this all keyed up and ready to go.
Well, I can just fill in like what that guy Ethical Skeptic did on the with those 2 locations for the North Pole. He came up with that second location in South Africa. And then they started analyzing these monuments from around the world, like in Mexico and Mississippi and Japan and all parts of the world. And well, you know, when you build roads in a city, you're going to naturally build it north and south. Like that's just how most people want to organize their city. Well, all these ancient monuments are aligned directly to that point in South Africa.
Wow.
Or Southern Africa. It's not the country South Africa, but the only explanation is that that used to be the North Pole, because there's, you know, if it wouldn't align with the
for Russia penetrate our
constellations,
Sorry.
because people at different latitudes would see different constellations. So the only explanation is that that had to be the North Pole at one point in Earth's history. So anyway.
That's very interesting. Okay, y'all see that? Is it ready to go now?
Mhm.
So this came from a show called The Diplomat. It's on Netflix. It's from season 2 in their season finale in 2024. So remember, they always tell us stuff in movies, right? So remember what we talked about the World War II being a turning point and the strategic importance of American safety because of Greenland. Here we go.
The quickest way for Russia to penetrate our naval defenses is steaming from the Arctic to the North Atlantic. This is our military presence in the Arctic. These were Russia's Arctic military positions in 1995. Today, infantry, naval, radar, search and rescue, air defense, the biggest buildup since the Soviets fell. This is where we lost Russia's most sophisticated submarines in the North Atlantic for 3 weeks. This is where we found their Lasharic submarine, which we noticed only because it caught fire. We have no idea how many more there are, but we think they're around here, 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 and here. This is Cregan. You know what Cregan is?
A nuclear submarine base in Scotland.
All of the UK's nuclear weaponry is housed at Cregan. It's what makes them one of the 9 nuclear powers. Also, it's the only base in Europe where we can dock our nuclear subs. It's the last place we have any hope of detecting a Russian sub before it's in the vast Atlantic barreling toward New York. Cregan is target 1 in the European theater of war. The Scots hate nukes, and they hate English overreach, but they really hate having a bullseye on their heads. If Scotland had gone independent,
They would have closed the base.
in a second. When we took our forces out of Iceland, Russian sub-activity skyrocketed, as did air incursions. When we pulled our combat brigades from Europe, anyone?
Russia annexed Crimea.
Is there a universe in which the United States could afford to lose the base in Scotland?
No.
Wow.
Okay, so just remember that, and you know, and it showed and it showed the map. Okay, but what people aren't thinking, okay, just for kicks and giggles, we got to go with this. They're not looking at the round part of it and how it actually is really close to America. So let me go here and share the next clip. Share screen. And I want to go Greenland strategic. Yes, this one. Here we go.
You just look at a globe and you tilt it the right way.
Yep. All right, here we go.
The Prime Minister of Greenland went to Beijing.
Let's see. No, I don't know who you are.
China. The Prime Minister of Greenland.
Crap.
Beijing, their friend, and said, hey, do you want to help us fund our new airports? China was like, yes, we will give you a loan to fund the airports, but it has to be a Chinese construction company that builds the airports. And Greenland was like, okay, let's do it. That sounds great. And immediately over in the United States, alarm bells start going off. This is not good. The context here is that China has a habit.
So what I want to point out real quick is on that map, she was pointing out those top parts. You see Russia right there. She was putting those strategic points on that. So if you look how close that is to Alaska. Look how close that is to Canada. You know, most people are going to think east to west, but they can go over the pole. So sorry.
Of giving loans to countries that they want to like have influence in, like in the future. So the United States sees this potential deal happening between Greenland and China and hates it. Greenland, this place that is so strategically located, that is right next to the United States, that is really a huge part of the future of global influence in the Arctic, suddenly in debt to China? No. In fact, the Pentagon freaked out and was like, what if Greenland defaults on their payments to China and China seizes the airports and starts using it for their military? A little bit of an alarm doomsday scenario. But it's true. Like when you owe someone money, they have leverage over you. The US did not like this. So the US goes to Denmark and tells them to kill the deal. Denmark does it. They agree. And suddenly Denmark is now funding 2/3 of these airport projects. China got rejected on these airport deals thanks to US pressure. They didn't give up. They started setting their sights on those rare earth minerals that we talked about earlier, the vital ingredients for your phone, your computer, and your electric car. China holds a near monopoly on mining and processing these minerals. So they see Greenland as an opportunity to continue that near monopoly, but also an opportunity to access the Arctic, another place where they can compete with Western interests. It started when this Chinese corporation made a deal to fund a zinc and lead mine in the far north of Greenland. It was all going to plan until the Australian owners of this mine suddenly decided to end their deal. Oh, and shortly thereafter, they got a $650 million check from the United States to fund the project. Once again, the US blocked their rival from getting a foothold in the Arctic. Another Chinese company has had their mining licenses revoked entirely by the government of Greenland. So between this diplomatic pressure, as well as some local anti-mining political sentiment, China has been blocked time and time again from getting its foothold on this island.
China's words and actions raise doubts about its intentions. Beijing claims to be a near Arctic state, yet the shortest distance between China and the Arctic is 900 miles.
So yeah, the USA has made its stance very clear that they don't want China, a non-Arctic nation, to be meddling in this region, to be gaining a foothold in the gateway to the Arctic, this region that is opening up, that is becoming really important. And in addition to blocking China's efforts, the US has also stepped up their own efforts to get more US influence and presence in this place, to prepare for the future of geopolitical conflict. The US is doing investments on its own, investing billions of dollars in military infrastructure in this region, including a $4 billion upgrade of that air and space installation in the north. They're also committing to military training exercise within the Arctic. The US Army has been sending their soldiers. China, the Prime Minister of Greenland.
All right, so if you want to go see more on that, I think the guy did like 8 little videos. Solomon Grant 5, you can go see his stuff there. It's over on TikTok. Now, the other one I wanted to share, let me go back here to StreamYard, just to show that this is nothing new. The only reason why most people are hearing about Greenland is because the bad orange man. So
they just don't know history. Like if we were all really educated without the brainwashing, we would know this stuff. But we're so stuck. We're so stuck on dumb stuff that we don't know real history. And that's the whole point why I love our show, is because this is like the opportunity that I never got in real school.
You're gonna get some history. So
yeah.
All right, so here's another one I want to share with you guys.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the reason China's communist instead of capitalist is because the global elite basically didn't intervene, and because they didn't want Russia to feel too like surrounded by capitalist countries. So they decided that China needs to be communist to make sure Russia doesn't use their nukes, basically.
And quick question, and what is Russia? They're not capitalist? I'm not too educated on Russia.
Well, I meant the Soviet Union back in the 1950s.
Yeah.
China became communist in the 50s, and the West just kind of let it happen because they didn't, because they knew Russia had nukes at that point, and they didn't want them to feel surrounded, because if you surround someone, they're more likely to strike out. So.
Yeah, that's a whole. We might need to pick up on that. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and finish because we're almost done with this Greenland stuff real quick. So here's this one.
For the US to occupy Greenland without anyone's permission is probably not who you're thinking of, but it is where it all starts. April 9th, 1940. Nazi Germany defeats Denmark when Denmark has full sovereignty over Greenland. And exactly 1 year later, the Danish ambassador to the US, Henrik Kaufmann, this guy, goes to the US State Department and signs the agreement relating to the defense of Greenland. Acting without any authorization, he grants America permission to establish military bases in Greenland, effectively making Greenland a US protectorate. The Danish government immediately denounces this agreement as void and charges Kaufmann, their ambassador, with high treason, stripping him of his diplomatic rank for acting in the name of the king without authorization. Several diplomats who backed Kaufmann were also dismissed. But Kaufmann had calculated precisely. He'd invoked the Monroe Doctrine by inviting the US to protect Greenland. He'd made it strategically impossible for Germany to seize the island without triggering a US intervention. So why did Kaufmann take this unconventional approach? Well, Hitler had his eye on Greenland for advantage in the North Atlantic, and with Denmark occupied, Greenland was cut off from its Danish supply line. So this treaty ensured that the US would provide protection and essentials for residents. Kaufmann had also presciently recognized the importance of Greenland's cryolite mines, which are essential for aluminium production in aircraft, and used this as leverage to keep America committed to Greenland's defense. One of the Danish government's first acts after liberation was to revoke the treason charges against Kaufmann and to unanimously ratify the treaty that he'd signed with no one's approval. He was also appointed minister without portfolio, so vindicated for the action he took to protect Greenland. And the 1941 treaty was eventually replaced by a permanent defense agreement. So it was the start of America's military presence today. And as a PSA, I do feel compelled to say that this crumb of historical context is not intended as an endorsement for any territorial claims.
All right. So there's that. Now let's go over to everybody thinks that Greenland just is happy with Denmark rule and they don't want to be sold or anything like that. Well, really? Do y'all know what happened to the people there? So let me hang on a second. Let me go over to X.
In that last video, I love how British people say aluminium instead of.
Oh, I know, right? That was great. Let's see. Is my screen still sharing?
It's not.
Yeah.
It should be back up. All right. This is only 25 seconds, I think. Oh, yeah, this one right here. Is this it? Yeah.
Greenland opposed. Wow. And annex all of Greenland, something that 85% of people living in Greenland oppose.
Well, again, and let's look back. Denmark has a terrible history with Greenlanders. There was forced sterilizations up until the 80s or the 90s. All of a sudden, now that the U.S. has expressed an interest, there is this new interest. And again, the United States needs to be in control to prevent a war, and that we do not want to get dragged into someone else's war.
And annex all of Greenland, something that.
All right. Did you hear what he said?
No, I could hardly hear him.
Okay, I'm sorry to say. Look up what Greenland did, or what Denmark did to Greenland by forcing sterilization on the female population back in
just like Puerto Rico?
60s, 70s, 80s.
They sterilized the population?
Is that true?
Absolutely, it's 100% true.
Oh.
Watch this. Hang on. Okay, let me close off of here. I'm going to go into, let me turn this off.
Well, it explains why they only have 60,000 people.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to ask Gemini a question. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hang on. Is it true that Denmark forced sterilization on the women of Greenland back in the 70s and 80s and 90s? And how did they do it?
Wow.
Yes, it is true that Denmark, through Danish authorities, carried out a forced sterilization campaign against Greenlandic women and girls, starting in the 1960s and continuing into the 1970s, 80s, and even the 90s. This program, known as the Spiral Case, involved placing intrauterine devices, or IUDs, in thousands of women and girls, often without their consent or knowledge, with the goal of controlling the population in Greenland. There have been reports of subsequent health complications and both physical and psychological trauma. Denmark has since issued an apology and initiated an investigation into the matter. Is there something specific you'd like to know about it?
Whoa.
Has there been any results of the investigation?
An independent investigation has been conducted, and a report has been released. The report doesn't provide legal conclusions, but does establish that Denmark had the overall responsibility for the campaign and may have neglected its duties. This has led to apologies from Denmark and also legal challenges from Greenlandic women. Is there anything further?
Why is Denmark doing that? Like, what value do they have? To do that?
Why would Denmark do this? What value would they have? Is this another way of controlling the population?
But why?
The primary reasons were part of a broader Danish policy aimed at modernizing Greenland and integrating it more closely with Denmark. Controlling the population growth was seen as a way to facilitate that integration and manage public health programs, according to historical records. There was also a concern about a perceived population boom in Greenland at the time. It's a complex issue with significant ethical implications.
Wow, that doesn't even make sense. First of all,
no.
And second, wasn't that the same thing that happened in Puerto Rico in the 60s, or was it for like 50s, or was it before that where they were sterilizing women?
I can't speak of that because I don't know.
I have no idea.
So the reason I wanted to share that all with you guys tonight, and hopefully the viewers and whoever watches this show as the week goes on, is because you're not going to hear any of that on the mainstream media.
No.
All you're going to hear is Trump is authoritarian. He wants to just take over everything. That's all you're hearing. You're not hearing about the women that suffered at the hands of the Danish government. You're not hearing about the strategic defense that it would provide for the United States and would help Trump, do the Golden Dome thing. And you're not hearing about the shipping lanes and everything like that and the minerals. You're not hearing any of that. So and this is why it's important to do your research and look into this stuff.
And that explanation of a population boom really does not make sense because, just for reference, Puerto Rico's population is 50 times bigger than Greenland's right now.
Yeah. Sorry.
We should send Elon Musk over there. He likes to have a lot of kids.
Yeah, so I just Googled it, and it is the exact same thing that happened in Puerto Rico by the U.S. government in the 1960s. So, with the same excuse as well.
So let's look at who's in charge.
And look at the size of the population, though. Like Puerto Rico is a small island. Greenland's a huge place with 50 times less people. So,
this is where
neither of them is excusable, but
correct. This is where we have to go back and look at history and see what was taking place. When did the deep state globalists start doing everything they wanted to do? Back in 1913. What was one of the things that they wanted to do? Control the population. We know that because of Margaret Sanger and her whole abortion thing. And so when they got into the governments, when they were able to infiltrate at higher levels some of these governments in Denmark, in the United States, they would impose what they wanted to accomplish on said Puerto Rico and Greenland. That's all it was. It was a criminal mafia trying to take over these two countries and control them.
Yeah.
And exploit them. and leave the U.S. open, leave the U.S. vulnerable, so that if when they were ready to start their big old World War III, like Hillary Clinton was wanting to do, then the U.S. would have been, we would have lost, because we wouldn't have the defenses necessary to protect against these things.
Well said.
Right. But if he buys Greenland, I mean, we should, maybe next time we should have like a list of things that probably would change, because I saw people in the chat saying that they have like free healthcare and certain things because they're a part of Denmark, and I guess that's what Denmark offers their citizens. I don't know. I'm not too. I don't know too much about geopolitics because I'm very against it, so I don't even bother. But I mean, if we buy it or we take it, they become American. And we spoke about this before in season 2, where I was against it because of that. I don't want them to gain American citizenship just because we bought them.
Like I said, they may fall under like the Pacific Islands. They may fall under like a territory of the United States. And I think to become a state, and I'm going to have to look into this, but there needs to be a majority of the states that allow that to happen. There's got to be a vote. I think there's a 2/3 vote thing. I'm not exactly sure. Let me look it up and verify what I'm saying.
Right, so, but they become citizens, right?
If they became a state and they were allowed to, yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't think that's going to happen, though. Not anytime soon.
Yeah, but Puerto Ricans are not a state and we're American.
What's that, Ruby?
Sorry. I mean, we're American and we come from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but does Puerto Ricans have American citizenship?
Yeah, they're citizens.
Yeah.
Are they?
And it's a territory.
Let's check. Hang on, because I'm seriously don't know.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly what would happen, I'm assuming, with Greenland. Like, if we buy it, they'll become citizens. If they move to the States, they can vote. They'll be Americans, basically. They will adopt our Constitution.
Yeah, it's only 60,000 people. Like, and it's not going to change anything electorally. I mean, well,
probably not.
Unless they become a state, then they get 2 senators. But.
Right. I mean, I'm not too worried about that. I just don't want them. I just don't want them to become American. That's I don't care about nothing in the government. I don't want my Americanism to be bought. Basically, you cannot buy being an American. You are born an American. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, Jimmy.
So it says, do Puerto Ricans have U.S. citizenship? Yes, people born in Puerto Rico are U.S. citizens, granted citizenship by the Jones-Shafferth Act of 1917, making them U.S. nationals with passports, but they cannot vote in U.S. presidential elections unless they move to a U.S. state. Though they can serve in the military and travel freely within the U.S., Puerto Ricans have U.S. citizenship, but with limited federal voting rights, highlighting ongoing debates about their political status as a U.S. territory. See, that's what I was confused on, because I knew they weren't voting.
Right.
And so I had to get clarification on that. So they're nationals. They are U.S. nationals with passports.
Yeah.
So okay. All right. So they can do that. They could do that to Greenland.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I am against that.
And they could probably do it to Australia too, and Canada.
Hell no.
I don't think we need Australia. I'm good. With
those would swing the elections pretty hard to the left.
we don't need Australia at all.
Yeah, just put that little bit of information back here on the back burner. We may need that later down the road.
Yeah, we don't need more wokeness. We have enough dealing with that right now.
Now, let me ask you this. Do y'all want to go into the conspiratorial part of Greenland?
Please do, because I've been dying to hear this.
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Okay, hang on. Let's go to the, okay. Guys, this is a conspiratorial part. I don't know if it's true. Just go with it.
Wait. We got to do our mid-roll. Hold on.
You just want to do that mid. Ruby just wanted to play that clip is all she wanted to do.
How dare you not respect the UPC tradition, Jimmy? How dare you?
I needed a water break anyway. I had to get something to drink.
That's what it's there for, and he don't like it no more.
No, I love it. I love it.
For a reason.
Messing with you. Shut up. All right. So let me go share my screen. Let's go over to X again. And like I said, I'm not buying into this right now. This is what's out there. And I've seen a couple of other videos talking about this too, that Greenland has a special place. Let's just put it that way. Let's just say it's that. Okay, so let me hit play.
And put it full screen.
I will.
You can go from London to Moscow or to Russia. Now, how many of you know about the object in Greenland? A couple of you, okay. Well, for those of you that don't know, there is a spacecraft that has melted out of the ice in Greenland. As you know, the North Pole has melted completely. You can go from London to Moscow or to Russia by going over the North Pole now. All the ice cap is gone. The last place that has ice on it was Greenland. Greenland had 18,000-foot ice cap on it. Well, the spacecraft that is anchored in the center of Greenland created the last ice age 50,000 years ago. It's a weather machine. It's 55 miles wide, 300 miles long, and 2 miles high. People that lived in it were called the Mois. You draw a straight line from the spacecraft to the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C., through the Yucatan Peninsula Great Pyramid at Mitsubishi, and ends up on Easter Island where the Mois have been dug out of this dirt. The heads on Easter Island, well, 2 years ago, they finally went ahead and they excavated, and they're all 65 to 85-foot people, full-body carvings. And these were the people that lived in the spacecraft that was uncovered that's melting out of the ice in Greenland. So when you think we've been alone, these people have been up there for 50,000 years. The spacecraft is still active after 50,000 years. It has a 200-mile dampening field where no electrons can flow into it. In 1947, a B-52 bomber flew into that pattern, into the dampening field when trying to fly between Maine and London. As a result of that, they lost power and crashed in Greenland. As they sent in rescue B-52 bombers to rescue them, they hit that same dampening field, but they veered off. They just ricocheted off of it. By testing, trying to get to these guys, they were able to ring a circumference and find out that there was an object 200 miles to the center of this field. On the southwest corner of Greenland, there is a small community. It's the only community on the island of Greenland. That community is a military post, CIA, that uses a compressed air generator to operate diesel engines to run a Caterpillar to run back and forth to 200 miles from the base to the object in Greenland. A lot of our technology comes from the reverse engineering out of the spacecraft. It is still functional and is still in operation. So it's pretty important what this thing is. All the nations worldwide are up there with the United Nations, and they're all acting, working together.
So, what y'all think about that?
I'm going to be honest, I have never heard this before.
Yeah, I hadn't heard it before either until this week. But it's funny that when I did
friends that are way into the alien stuff, but yeah, it's never seemed like plausible to me, but
No, I agree with you, Thomas. I agree.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd share that only
They had
because. Oh, go ahead, Bo.
No, I'll say what I say if you talk.
I was going to say I just wanted to share that because, like I said, there's other people talking about stuff like this, and I've heard that there's, what was the thing I was watching last night? It said Greenland is a node, NODE, which if you're into the Galactic Federation stuff and all that, it's a source of energy. Greenland is for portals and stuff like that. That's what's been said. Now, do I believe it? I don't know. Am I dismissing it? No, because you never freaking know these
There's
days.
something to that node thing. Like, there's actually all the a lot of the ancient pyramids are built on parts of the earth that have electrical properties to them.
Yeah, ley lines.
That's the same idea as the nodes. It's just like, yeah, I didn't know about the alien connection to them, but yeah.
If they had a ship that was that big, every damn country would be fighting for that shit.
Maybe they are.
That's my problem with this.
Yeah.
But like they would, I mean, they would be like really fighting for that, because anyone who gets that technology is going to become number one.
Yeah.
So that's where my issue is with that is, okay, like we've seen and we know that countries, and when things happen, how crazy they get to these ships. I mean, we've seen like what had happened in Russia. We've seen this happen in the US. So I don't know. I have a hard time thinking that that's just sitting there and this is giant ass spaceship in there, and people are just kind of like, it's okay.
Well,
We'll
the idea is that the aliens are playing a part too, and that they're not allowing Earth to do that or whatever. But yeah.
And there could be a case made for that the folks that get up and give these speeches, maybe they are CIA operatives and they're just saying this crap just to keep people like confused or whatever. I mean, that's a possibility too. But
yes, I believe that.
That's a likely scenario.
I'd be curious if there's like Project Blue Book, if any of the documents in there have anything about this. I'd be interested. I mean, because I watch a lot of UFO garbage, and I'll be honest with you, I'd never even heard of this one before.
Is it Blue Beam or Blue Book?
Blue Beam. Blue Beam.
Blue Book. Okay.
What?
I had it wrong.
Project Blue Book.
I was thinking there was something called Blue Beam.
Is that two separate ones? Because there's Project Blue Beam. And
I have that written down, Blue Beam.
Yeah,
now we're getting confused on our
Blue Beam.
conspiracy. There's so many.
I have that word
Project
written
Blue
down in
Book
my
was
notes
a
somewhere.
code name for the system study of unidentified flying objects by the United States Air Force from March 1952 to the termination of December 17th, 1969.
Okay, cool. So there's two different projects.
Yeah, I don't know what that other project is.
Yeah, Blue Beam is the one where they're going to like put Jesus in the sky and let everybody see him, and we're going to have this big alien invasion, and everybody's going to see it on TV. Yeah, so it's two different. Okay, I didn't know that there was two. I didn't know Project Blue Book. I didn't know that. That's what I like about this show. We learn a lot.
It's educational and informative. Definitely. Informative and educational. Any news on Cuba?
Not that I've heard of yet. Let me check the news blast, see if there's anything on Cuba.
What the hell? He's going after every country, so why not Cuba?
Oh, Cuba's on the list. Let me just check. Y'all talk amongst yourselves or whatever. I'm gonna just check.
Project Blue Beam was a government conspiracy by the New World Order where they were going to make a massive UFO invasion, and this is something that the U.S. had, and this came out in documentation that they were going to fake alien invasion in order to try to bring a one world government.
Yeah,
and this got exposed. That's what it is.
That sounds more like it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I went, wait a minute, Blue Beam. I'm like, it sounds familiar, but I was like, kind of forgetting.
There is a movie suggestion. Have you seen The Thing?
That's a very scary movie. It's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen.
I'm definitely gonna watch it.
I watched it with two grown men, and they were grabbing my arm watching that when it first came out. I won't tell you what it's like, but you're going to be scared when you watch it.
Is there two versions of The Thing?
Yes, there's two of them, yeah.
Okay, the older one's probably better, right?
Well, it's not scary. The new one with Kurt Russell, I think, was in it. That's the scary one.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, I don't see any.
It's graphic, too. It's very graphic.
I don't see any news blast information on Cuba right now, but we'll keep an eye open for that.
What happened with the Panama Canal? That kind of died.
Well, yeah, I think we're controlling it now.
Are we?
I think we are.
They asked Trump today about that, and he said, I didn't want to talk about it.
Really?
Yeah, there's not been much talk about that.
Yeah, he didn't say why or anything. He just said, I'm not going to talk about that. That's all he said.
Oh.
Because the interview they did today, some reporter asked him about that and was like, well, what's going on with that? And he said, we're not talking about that right now.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I don't know what that means.
That tells me Trump.
That
tells me Trump knows something, and it's not time for people to know it yet, right now, or not. That's what that tells me.
Oh, Jimmy.
I think that there's some kind of fighting going on with China with that.
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jimmy, we have to publicly thank one of our viewers, Cat B945 in the chat. She sent a super sticker, $20 to the UPC.
Well, thank you, Cat B. We appreciate that.
Yeah, so thank you to Cat. That is amazing. I am loving how far we've come. How far we have come, especially with me, guys. You know, I apologize. I don't actually. I don't. But I mean, you know, we say a lot of crazy stuff on here, and we still get super chats. That's amazing. So thanks to Cat B.
Yeah, I appreciate that. All right, so it's 11:19. Does anybody in the chat have any questions that we may have missed that you wanted to ask us? Please put them in the chat now.
Okay. Yeah. Any wrap-up thoughts?
No.
And while we're waiting for folks to type their stuff in, you can ask any of us on the stage. Dallas, do you have any final thoughts for this evening?
Well, y'all talking about that gun thing, and I think it's a great idea, and I'd actually like to take that course myself.
Oh yeah,
that'd be good.
I'd take the safety course. I'd be happy doing.
Yeah, I really think you definitely need to do that if you want to. If you want to own a gun, you need to be responsible with it.
I think that's the best way. I think it's best to take the safety course.
Yeah.
It's a requirement in my state. You have to take it before you get a permit.
Yeah. Thomas, do you have any final thoughts for this evening?
I had a blast. Yeah, I might have to limit myself to every other week because otherwise, I mean, once I'm here, I want to stay the whole time.
Well, I love being here with my family as well, just like you do.
We appreciate that, Dallas. We love you, buddy. Thank you for being a dedicated viewer of the UPC. We really appreciate that. Gigi.
I want to thank everybody because I thought the show was phenomenal tonight, and I actually learned some things tonight, and I want to especially thank Bo for the map he showed, and I forgot the name of the company, but I want to thank him for that, and thanks for answering the one about the Panama, because I've been wondering about that for a while because there's been no mention of it, but you said Trump didn't want to talk about it, so. And thank everybody. It was a great show tonight. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for all the information.
Bo?
So the only thing I want to say is, Jimmy and you guys had talked about how movies and stuff want to tell you things that are going to happen. They have done that a lot, and they have talked so much in the animation community. And I know this is kind of a weird thing because I don't know how many of you guys have watched that stuff, but it's really interesting. If you want to see that kind of thing, if you watch or just look up people who talk about anime and stuff, the conspiracies of the real world, it's pretty interesting. I know they put all this stuff in movies and stuff, but the AI and what they're doing is in so many animes. The list is just endless. This plot is done over and over and over again. And then I'll say one more thing, and I'll stop. Is they talk about a religious organization a lot of these members here in this audience belong to. Japan's anime had pointed out and targeted them too. And then recently that country had actually put them as a cult. And there are videos about how to be careful. And I didn't know this about Japan, but I guess Japan has a lot of cults, and this is a thing that's been going on lately. And they named them as the ones to be really careful with. And I thought it was really funny. And I'm like, well, they're all interconnected. New World Order, those religious organizations, they're all one and the same. And it's funny how they are all getting exposed. Like what we used to think is just entertainment has become our reality.
Yup.
True.
Definitely.
And if somebody goes in your church and threatens you, blow their ass away.
That's the main takeaway. Thank you.
Make sure you hit the right target.
It looked like Thomas
head shot. Oh, just kidding. I'm just kidding, everyone. This is a joke.
The thing about the entertainment. The thing about that guy, ethical skeptic that I keep talking about, he's like the modern day Indiana Jones, because he developed his theory when he was visiting the pyramids, and he had some corporate job where he traveled the world. So yeah, I really see him as like a modern day Indiana Jones. Speaking of fiction becoming reality.
That's cool. I'll check him out a little bit more. All right, so my final thoughts on this evening is, especially with the narrative of Greenland, just one thing that we definitely that we've always tried to do on this show is to obliterate the mainstream media narrative. That's what we do. And I think with the information that we provided on Greenland tonight, it gives folks a little bit more to look at and to research than just parroting what the mainstream media says. Because when you go out in public or in your circle of friends or whatever, having this type of knowledge puts you in a position it gives you knowledge is power. So if these people are listening to the mainstream media, they don't have the power in a conversation. If you've got the research, you got the dates, you got the historical facts, you can share that with them. And if those people are the least bit open-minded or they want to see it, they're going to listen. So this is just our way of getting our voice out, and hopefully we can help others, encourage others to speak up and use their voice as well. The last thing I'll say is, did y'all notice I didn't smoke a cigarette tonight? And I didn't smoke a cigarette last Tuesday during the show.
Wow, congratulations, Jimmy.
It sucks.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you quit?
No, I'm trying to cut back a little bit, but because I'm inside the house, I don't smoke inside. Now I'll hit the hell out of this, but I'm not smoking inside the house. So that's two Tuesdays in a row for like 2.5 hours. I ain't smoked a cigarette.
That's great. I'm so happy we're helping you with that.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. And do y'all like the fact, do y'all like the fact that I'm able to come on here and share screens with you guys as well?
Yes.
Because that's something new that I've been trying to work on too. So anyway,
definitely.
Just trying to make it better for the viewers.
No, you did. It's great tonight. Good job.
Yeah, I love it. I love it because it takes all the work off of me, and you could share your own screens. I don't have to share your screens for you.
Hey,
no,
Ruby,
it's really great.
Ruby, go to my Facebook page.
Hell no! I'm so glad they banned you.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I'm banned. I don't think I'll ever be back on Facebook. Oh, well.
No, but that's okay. I love you on X anyways, and you're here. They can't ban you off of here. So we got you.
Oh, they could.
Platform.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys haven't been banned. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what. Actually, that's what they do. Their algorithm still throttles people that are shadow bans. Like they don't actually ban you, but they shadow ban you, and like just only 5%, because that's what happened to Ethical Skeptic, because he posts so much about COVID, and then his other issue was this climate change, and so he got throttled for both of those.
Oh yeah, it happens to me too. Like I get kicked off of my own stream all the time. My internet goes out all the time, only on a Tuesday night. And it's always when I'm doing this show. StreamYard always wants to shut down, only with me. Everybody else uses the same account and they don't have no problems at all. Only me. So I know the feeling.
Do you remember what happened the first time you guys brought me onto this channel?
Yeah,
No.
your sound wasn't working at all.
Everything, every electronic device could not connect and was doing multiple feeds. And then after that, I had massive internet connection issues for a while.
Wow.
And they started pulling my data again. They pulled the phone data off my phone. And I know they did it because my phone went from 100% charged to 30% within 20 minutes.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, Ruby, we haven't talked about this yet. Real quick, did you have an outro for? Did you have an outro song for tonight?
I did not, and I kind of knew you would say something, so I'm glad you did.
Okay, well, I didn't think I was going to say something until just now. But let me find us a good outro song.
Yeah, while you find me a title, I just want to acknowledge a new person in the chat that asked a question super late. So we'll do this next Tuesday, but this question comes from STOPST in the chat. She says, or he or she says, what are your thoughts on Israel? We did talk about this in season 1 and 2, but next Tuesday I'll touch on it, just because this is a new person and we haven't really, gone deep on that issue yet. And was it Dehydrated Nurse? Who talked about Jersey? Somebody else in the chat talked about New Jersey and some flashing lights.
Oh,
I don't know about that, but can you write that down as a homework? Because I don't know about any flashing lights or New Jersey.
The drones that were about.
Well, I do remember that, but she said some flashing lights. I don't know what, like street lights, I'm assuming. I don't know, so I'm gonna have to look that up.
All right, so Ruby, go to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna pick one song. What I'm gonna try to do is play every song that I put on here for the UPC songs. Yeah, so let's pick one tonight. That one's a little tough.
Oh yes, okay. So she says yes, the drones. Okay, nurse. So we'll write that down. Maybe next Tuesday. Remind us again if you're gonna be here about that, because I don't. I remember when it happened, but I don't remember whatever happened. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, they ended up saying it was like the government knew what they were, but they never told us what they were. They just said
exactly. It was like secret, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we talked about this like a couple episodes ago.
Oh, so in season 2 then.
Yeah, because I was on here and we were talking about this, and I know somebody who is in the industry.
Ah, okay. Okay,
and
so
that was a government-funded project, and they were doing a testing to show people what they could do. It was a big company. They didn't tell people. That's why they were saying don't shoot the damn drones. Is because we were doing that for like investors and stuff. We're showing them what they could do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the company came out and they eventually talked about it, and then some of the big drone companies admitted, that they were doing a show.
Oh, I never heard about that.
Okay. Okay.
I just heard that the government said they were allowed to be there. I never heard that the company admitted to it. Cool.
All right. Do y'all want to hear a song that's got like a little bit of historical references in it tonight?
As an outro, sure.
As an outro, okay. So let's go to my YouTube channel and playlists, and for the outro tonight, let's pick "Never Again Means Now," and it's about 6 minutes long, but listen, and hopefully it'll come through clear enough, because it seemed like last week it was not coming in clear or something. So, but this could be our. So you go ahead, Ruby. Close it out. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for the chat.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, guys. It was awesome.
Nah, y'all.
Yes, thank you so much for joining, everybody who's on the stage and everybody in the chat. My last thoughts are never be afraid to say what you truly feel or think. I never apologized for it. I hope I continue being a good example of that, because we shouldn't be afraid of anyone or anything.
Nope.
Even if they censor us, even if they ban us, even if people dislike you, even if people, say the things like what Bonnie said earlier, it doesn't matter. Continue moving forward, speaking out, and saying things that you probably know will get people to dislike you. You know what I'm saying? Like of course I know that people will feel a certain type of way about the things that I say, but I don't really care. So that's the point. We need to stop caring about being liked, and we need to start telling the truth. So I'm going to play this song. Thank you so much to everybody for joining. See you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. I'm going to share my screen now. Good night, everyone.
Love y'all.
Love you guys. We'll see y'all next week.
Okay. Have a good weekend.
All righty.
You too, guys.
They built the walls in Berlin, divided brother from brother, told us it was for our safety, one people against another. Now the camera's on every corner, they're watching what we say. Same old playbook, different century, but we won't look away. The ministry of truth rewrites what we're allowed to know. Like the book burnings in the squares decades ago. They promised us security if we surrender what we own. But history keeps screaming, we've seen this terror song. Can you hear the echoes calling from the past? Every generation sworn this time would be the last. But the pattern keeps repeating if we close our eyes and sleep. The cost of our compliance cuts 1,000 miles deep. We're breaking the chains, tearing down the walls, standing together when the hammer falls. They can silence one voice, but they can't stop the sound of 1,000,000 hearts beating, shaking the ground. No more control, no more divide. We're taking back tomorrow, unified. Unified. Stage files stacked to the ceiling, neighbors reporting neighbors' crimes. Now it's algorithm sorting who gets flagged for crossing lines. Social credit scores replacing what used to be called trust. The machinery of power grinding freedom into dust. Oh, never taught us never again, never look away. But complacency's a poison that we're drinking every day. They package up compliance in the language of the kind, but conformity is prison for the body and the mind. Can you hear the echoes calling from the past? Every empire built on lies was never meant to last. was eventually lost. We're breaking the chains, tearing down the walls, standing together when the hammer falls. They can silence one voice, but they can't stop the sound of a million hearts beating, shaking the ground. No more control, no more divide. We're taking back tomorrow, unified. Unified. This is how we overcome. We question everything. Seek truth, not comfort. We stand with our neighbors, not against them. We remember what was lost when good people stayed silent. We build communities they cannot infiltrate. We teach our children to think, not to obey. We draw the line and say, not here, not now, not ever again. We're breaking the chains, tearing down the walls, standing together when the hammer falls. From the gulag to the ghetto, from the camps to the streets, every soul that stood defiant planted freedom seeds. No more control, no more divide. We're taking back tomorrow, unified. The power was always ours, they just made us forget. But history's on the side of those who rise against the threat. We're breaking the chains, we're tearing down the walls. Together we stand, we will never fall. Becomes a chorus, one step becomes a march, one spark becomes an inferno that lights up the dark.